meditate regularly? Okay. Some of us, I guess the expressions say that you hate meditations. Okay, that's a good mix here. Sorry? By standing in the train, well, it's a very potent meditation, in fact. Okay. Yoga, yes, that by itself is also a form. Mm-hmm. Yes. Here, what I'd like us to explore today is not so much of the conventional meditation technique, not in terms of sitting in the lotus position and closing an eyes and meditating, but like we say, techniques for the mavericks. So techniques which can be, let's say, 2-minute meditation, so to say, like we have our 2-minute fast food, or techniques which can be incorporated in a way that it doesn't require too much of time or effort for that matter, or for that matter space and solitude, which is normally associated with meditation. That's the point of the talk here. Before we get into it, let's first understand and accept for ourselves what is meditation and why do we do it. So what does meditation mean for us? State of no thoughts, okay, yes.
Basically an awareness of day-to-day activities, doing something or not doing.
Awareness without judgment in that sense, okay, yes. I'm sorry? Very much. It can be. It has a potential to be, may not always be, but yes, it certainly has the potential. State of deep thought, okay. Okay, we have two opposites here, no thought and deep thought, okay. Totally, that's a very easy way of putting it, but yes, takes some time to get there. Being aware, yes, ultimately it does boil down to that state of awareness. Two thoughts. Yes, and to some degree simply being aware of that gap and even aware of the thoughts around it. It doesn't matter whether, you don't have to berate yourself if you happen to have that thought. Usually we tend to think of meditation as a state of extreme focus, and normally we're told, visualize something in between your eyebrows, or think of a candlelight or some kind of a lamp. But what happens in the process is a lot of us, especially novice meditators, tend to say that I get a headache at the end of it, because you tend to get into that in the beginning, because you tend to get into a state of extreme focus or extreme concentration. Whereas, personally, I would think meditation is the opposite of concentration. It's not concentration, but purely the lack of it, purely just being aware and just being accepting of whatever is it that we mean in terms of the state, whatever we are in terms of the state, physically and environmentally as well. So yes, in that sense, yes, hanging on to the door of a train can very well be a state of meditation. Why do we meditate? Quieten the mind, yes. That's normally the reason. Cool down, re-energize, silence your thoughts, okay. Okay, again. Contradictions. Normally, as it's associated, the term by itself is associated with peace, inner peace or harmony. Maybe because of the religious associations meditation has had over the last few centuries. But if you think of meditation as a technique in itself, it really has nothing to do with religion or, for that matter, any particular school of spirituality. It's purely an internal process and something that we all indulge in, whether we are aware of it or not. Awareness about yourself. Something as simple as, let's say, deep sleep is a state of Meditation, although yes, it's normally considered different because we are not conscious of it. The physical body is not really aware of it. But mentally it has pretty much the same impact as meditation does. But yes, there is a certain element lacking. Normally when we talk of meditation, we talk of integrating all three elements, physical, mental and emotional. And because in sleep the physical element is passive, it's not technically considered meditation. But yes, coming back to why do we meditate, yes, for a lot of us it's about finding that inner balance, inner peace. Ultimately it's a form of getting in touch with ourselves, because there's so much of noise around in the environment, at work or family or anywhere else that we are, that sometimes the inner voice tends to get ignored, and therefore meditation as a technique comes in purely to get in touch with that voice. Whether it has anything to say or not is immaterial. Sometimes you just find that inner silence, and that by itself gives us peace. So yes, so that's the purpose behind it. So the purpose in general would be finding us through the process, finding ourselves through the process. If we have to talk in terms of technique or various ways in which we can meditate, and these are extremely unorthodox, but before that, one thing that's common or one thing that's very core to any process of meditation, according to me, would be the intent behind it, in terms of why do we do that process of meditation. Sometimes, yes, the intent could be as simple as peace, silence. What else could it be? What can we intend? Okay. A personal goal, personal, professional. Sometimes the intent may as well be a question or a problem that we are trying to solve or analyze, because there are so many factors around it that sometimes it's difficult to juggle data purely at a mental level. So what we're trying to do through meditation is put things into perspective, not only mentally but also emotionally and physically, so that there is a holistic view of the problem, and then we are in a better state to analyze it post-meditation or perhaps even during meditation. So it does become important, if we have to follow a structured meditation pattern, to ensure that there is a clear intent statement. It sounds very simple. It's purely about making a mental statement saying, I intend to do X, Y, Z through this meditation. And we're talking of perhaps a 2 or 3 minute meditation for all you know. But that intent statement makes a difference because it changes the thought frequency. And this is something that I'm sure all of us here know, that it has been physiologically proven that thought has a frequency, and every thought that we project onto the environment, onto the etheric field around us, changes the energy of the field. And in projecting that thought, we open ourselves, we open the receptors to the solutions that come in. So it becomes very important to put in that intent statement which says, I intend to do X, Y, Z, find X, Y, Z answers, or achieve X, Y, Z state through this process of meditation. And this one statement makes a lot of difference in terms of the result of the meditation. So it could be something like saying, I intend to achieve inner peace through meditation. I intend to find a holistic solution to this particular problem at work through meditation. But that statement adds a lot of potency to the meditation process. So once that intent is done, then comes the actual process of meditation. Of course, we have n number of techniques which have been taught to us over the years in terms of sitting down with, let's say, particular mudras or particular postures. Yoga, for that matter, is a very powerful way of meditation. But let's explore here what is it that we can do every day. Traveling in the train or in the middle of the traffic, or sometimes even in the middle of work during our lunch break. How is it that we can meditate? Take a deep breath, yes. Yes. And sometimes it doesn't even have to be with that effort of a thought. It could simply be the focus on the breath. Being aware of the breath in itself is very powerful. So yes, the first technique that I would definitely suggest is being aware of your breath. For starters, we need not even have a particular pattern of breath. It could simply be being aware of the natural breath that we take. And all of us tend to have a certain predominant breath pattern. We have a tendency to use a certain part of our lungs. Normally we tend to breathe with the upper lungs. I mean, if you look at a typical urban pattern, we tend to take short breaths instead of taking deep breaths. And therefore the upper lungs tend to be more exercised than the lower ones. Now here, how do we build up the technique is initially simply be aware of what's happening. How do you breathe? And we're talking of doing this process for maybe 2 or 3 minutes at a time, not more. You don't need to really find a space for it. We don't need to find a quiet environment. Simply wherever you are, standing, sitting, simply follow the breath. Eventually we can increase the rigor in the exercise, and it doesn't mean we need to increase the time, but simply increase the intensity of this exercise in terms of ensuring that the entire lung is exercised, which means we breathe till a point where the stomach is swollen, the way a baby would breathe, right? Which means we ensure that the breath covers the entire lungs, and then we breathe out completely as well, so that whatever oxygen is used up, is absorbed, and the rest of the air is entirely exhaled. So that's the next step to it. Once we are comfortable with simply observing, then we move to this next step of ensuring that the whole lung is exercised and we completely exhale. Again, this can be done at a time for maybe 2 to 3 minutes. It's a good thing to do maybe 2 or 3 times a day initially, because it brings us back into focus. The effect of it physiologically is it makes us aware not only of the breath, but in the process aware of the physical body. And sometimes a lot of ailments, a lot of physical discomforts go unnoticed simply because we're not aware of the body in the regular grind of work. So here, because of this 2 to 3 minute process, we become aware of the way the body responds to breath, and in that process we know if there are areas of discomfort which might need to be addressed eventually. So breathing is one technique. What else can we explore as an alternative? Again, quick fix, 2 to 3 minute techniques.
Close your eyes and aware of sound.
That's again a powerful way. Right. Visualizing a picture, yes. Chanting Om, yes, and that's very potent. I'll come to that in detail as well. Let's explore the sound part of it. This is again something that we can do maybe sitting at our work desks. It's a great thing to do in the middle of traffic, when you're not driving, that is. Simply close your eyes and observe sounds. For a minute or 2, whatever time you're comfortable sitting, simply close the eyes and observe sounds, and it helps initially if you wish to indulge in trying to recognize the sound. What kind of a horn is it? Where does it come from? What direction is the sound coming from? Because in that process you focus on a particular thought. You're able to intentionally direct your thoughts. And eventually that's the point of intention or meditation, to be able to direct thoughts at will. So it could be as simple an activity as directing it to where does the sound come from. And of course there is no judgment here in terms of the sound having to be pleasant. If you really wish to, you can plug in some soothing chants or music, but a traffic scene can be as pleasant as anything else. So yes, that's another technique, trying to connect with sounds, trying to recognize it, and eventually increasing the span of the focus from a minute or 2 to however much you can spend. Visualizing is another technique which is not only for meditation, but it has several alternative repercussions. A lot of us use it in terms of achieving goals. It's a very powerful way of goal setting and goal achieving as well. Now, visualizing could be, again, as simple as visualizing the environment that you're physically in. Like, let's say, sitting in this room, observing things around us, and then closing our eyes for a minute or two and trying to recall every little detail. Let's say the color of the wall and the color of the letters on the wall, the size of the letters, the font, the details, the pictures. Right? So that's again another powerful way of doing it visually. I would definitely suggest explore a mix of these techniques, because in each of them we try to enhance different senses in our body, either visually or in terms of hearing, in terms of the feeling through the breath. Sometimes we can, it's also a good idea to meditate with the touch. So hold, let's say, a flower vase or simply a flower or a leaf, and explore the texture through meditation. Close your eyes and explore the texture, explore the